Good morning. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. I pray the Most High has blessed everyone since we have been on last recording. It's been a couple of weeks. But I thank the Almighty that He has blessed me to be here on another Sabbath day. It is a blessing to see the Most High working in these day and times, even in the midst of turmoil, in the midst of confusion, in the midst of all that's going on in the world. The Most High still is on His throne and has never relinquished it. Today, I want to be talking to you about Esau and Gehazi, the spirit of Satan. Now, I want everybody to be perfectly clear that there are only two ruling spirits in the world. The spirit of Yah and the spirit of Satan. Now, like the Most High has ministering spirits, warrior spirits, angels, Malachi. All the Malachi have different roles and jobs and so on and so forth. So it is with Satan, Hasatani, that he is the ruling and he sends out these demonic forces. Okay? So that's why I just want to make this perfectly clear. So, first of all, I want everybody to be perfectly clear that I know in certain circles of the Hebrew community, Israelite community, Isolele, they want to say that Esau is the white man and all this. Forget all that. What we have to focus on is the spirit of a person, their actions. The actions determine character of a person, right? And I want to show you the characteristics of people, both either melanated or non-melanated. And sadly to say, these spirits dwell in Isolele, some of our people. So it is my endeavor, by the guidance of the Most High, to show you these characteristics so we know how to be aware of the spirits that maybe we might take for granted that they're there. Okay? So this is what we're going to be talking about today. All right? To Yah be the glory, and may He continue to be glorified in our lives. All right, let's go. Genesis, the 25th chapter, starting at verse 21. I'll be skipping around a little bit. I'm going to read a little bit and skip around a little bit. Okay? All right, here we go. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. All right, here we go. And Isaac entreated Yahweh, the Most High, for his wife because she was barren. And Yah Almighty was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why I am thus? And she went to inquire, She went to inquire of Yah. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. I want you to pay attention to this. 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Now, 2 nations, 2 people, right? So when we look at the scriptures of the law and this entirety of scriptures, we always, I don't care what anybody tells you, you gotta factor in the spirituality, what it's saying. The law is spiritual. If the law is not spiritual, then the Most High is not a spirit, because the law was given by Yah, who is a spirit. Yah is a spirit. The law is spiritual. This is part of the law. This is actually the Most High speaking to Moshe, Massa, on the mount. When in Exodus, when he's on Mount Sinai, this is the Most High's account giving to Massa, Moses. All right? You got to remember this. So 2 types of people. One stronger, and the elder shall serve the younger. Now, what did I say at the start? There's 2 ruling spirits in the earth. The spirit of Satan, Hasatani, and the spirit of Yah, who rules all spirit, who is the God of spirits, the ruler of spirits. He is the Yah, the almighty one of spirits, okay? And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. So, well, let me read on, and I'll get to what I want to say. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Okay. So at the beginning, before she entreated the Most High, the twins struggled in the womb. They was fighting, right? They was fighting. So what happened at the time of delivery? Esau came out, and when Jacob came out, he grabbed his heel. Now, what is that signifying? So if you know this account, you know what happened. But I'm gonna go over it anyway. So what this is telling us is that the struggle in her womb between the 2 children, the 2 babies, the 2 infants, is what the Most High was telling her, that these 2 nations, you got two nations and 2 types of people in you, right? This was the struggle. So Esau came out first, but Jacob grabbed his heel. Jacob was trying to be firstborn. That's what it amounts to. Jacob was really trying to be firstborn, because the Most High is sovereign. He knows the end from the beginning, right? So let's go. And when the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, and Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sod, that means S-O-D, that means he boiled Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. Why was he called Edom? If you understand where that name Edom came from, or Adam, which means red, Edom and Adam, like our father Adam, the father of all living. Adam was made from the clay of the ground, and in Genesis where it says the dust of the ground, that's a wrong. Uh, uh, they intentionally changed the proper meaning. So you go back and check it out, you'll see what I'm talking about. The I forgot the name. There's a proper name for it. Anyway, his name was called Edom or Adam. That's the proper actually true name of this character right here. Right? Why? Because he sought after the red pottage, right? The red pottage was lentil soup. Now, anybody can do this. You go online, Google red lentils, and tell me what color do you see. Right? I have to go over this because people just really are sucking the truth out of the Most High Scripture, and they're telling people lies. Esau was not white. He was a man of color. He was a melanated man. He was a hairy man. But he was a black man. Dang. And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. Now this is where you have to pay attention to his character. His character. And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die. What profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, Swear to me this day. And he swore unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. He sold his birthright unto Jacob. I'm repeating it intentionally. He sold his birthright. He sold his birthright. He sold his birthright unto Jacob. And Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. I told you, red lentils. And did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. And Esau despised his birthright. Now, in our culture, in our real culture, the birthright belongs to the firstborn. Now, the birthright is what? What the father hands down to his son. What the father hands down to his son. All the majority of his material and spiritual, you cannot ever, when you're reading scripture, you better learn how to apply spirituality. You better learn how to apply spirit. Because Yah is a spirit. Satan is a spirit. We are a spiritual people, but we dwell in a fleshly body. We inhabit a fleshly body. When the Most High breathed the breath of life into Adam, the breath of life that he breathed into that caused him to become a living soul is the law of the Most High. It is the law of the Most High. That's how he knew what to call the animals. That's what gave him knowledge and understanding of things. He was not deceived by what happened. He was well aware. Natural and spiritual. We always have to deal with natural and spiritual, natural and spiritual. They go hand in hand. If you separate one from the other, then you really don't understand the Most High. You don't understand the Most High. If you separate spiritual from natural, you don't understand the Most High. Because he is spirit. All right, let's go. So Esau despised his birthright. Okay. Go to Genesis 27. And start at 27. All right, here we go. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled. Yes, this is what I want. He smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him. And he said, and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field which Yahweh hath blessed. Excuse me. Therefore Yah give thee the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be master, Lord, that's master or ruler, over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curses thee, and blessed be he that blesses thee. Now, can you see the spirituality in what Isaac handed down to Jacob? Can you see the spirituality in there? So when the Most High blesses, the blessing is spiritual. So when we walk in the spirit, when we obey the law of the Most High correctly, when we obey the Most High's law correctly, the spirit of the Most High in his law manifests in us, and it changes us. Now, you cannot leave out what the Messiah did, what Yehoshua did. You can never leave that out when it comes to spirit, because it is the spirit. The spirit of Yah was sent to us, to a, not all of us. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The spirit of Yah does not dwell in you just by you obeying the law only. You have to believe and understand what the Messiah did, who the Messiah was, who the Messiah was not, and understand that by the things that he did gave us power to obey the law of Yah. And when we understand, it's too much to go into, but when we understand that you can't take away any of that from the law, because the law speaks of him, and all he ever did was speak about the law. Okay, anyway, so can you see the spirituality in this? Therefore, Yah, give thee the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be ruler or master over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curses thee, and blessed be he that bless thee. So, cursed and blessed, are those natural things? Do they come about naturally? Does a curse come about naturally in any shape, form, or fashion? No. Being cursed is a spirit. Okay. 29, skipping to 36. Okay. All right. And he said, now this was before I read was the blessing of Isaac to Jacob. All right. This is now Esau. Okay. And he said, is it not he rightly named Jacob, for he has supplanted me these 2 times. Now, how many times? He didn't supplant anything. So the name Jacob means supplanter. That's the actual name. That's why he says supplanted. Okay. So listen to what he's saying. So this is where you got to pay attention to these characteristics in people. Right? And he said, is he rightly named Jacob, for he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? Now, the Most High said, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So when you go back to the beginning in 21 through 34, you see that Jacob understood the totality of the birthright of the eldest son. The birthright. What rightly belongs to you because you are the oldest and you obey your father and your mother. You obey the law of the Most High given to your father and mother, and they teach you the laws, statutes, and commandments and judgments of the Most High. And he understood the Most High in him as a child, caused him to understand that he needed to be firstborn. He understood the parameters of the birthright. Esau did not understand what was involved in the birthright. It was both natural and spiritual. So, what did the Most High expect of us? To walk in spirit. Walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. When you walk in spirit, you obey the laws of the Most High. So, 34 said, Esau despised his birthright. Now he's talking to his father and saying 2 times he supplanted me 2 times. But you sold his birthright. You sold your birthright. How did he supplant you? You were overcome by hunger, and you only thing you cared about was your belly. You only cared about your natural man. You only cared about what your natural inclinations, your natural dictates wanted. So when this is the object lesson. So when we're hungry and we're really hungry, we need to check it. We need to check that. We need to be able to control our natural man. So when you are walking in carnality, and if you see the law as natural, you see the law as carnal. You can't have it. It has to be one or the other. The law cannot be carnal and spiritual. It's both natural and spiritual, but it's the spirit that reigns preeminent. But if you just look at it on a natural basis, you got a serious problem, and you cannot obey the law of the Most High correctly. For the carnal man is not subject to the law of Yah, neither indeed can be. The natural man is not subject to the law of God, Yah. Is not subject to the law of Yah. So his natural drive, inclinations, what have you, dictated to him, where he could not understand the spiritual side of the blessing. The blessing and the birthright are synonymous. They're not separate. He did not understand that. That's why he's saying right here, he said, and he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? You sold your birthright, man. You got to pay attention to this. Okay. Now, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy master, ruler, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, here you go. This is prophecy. You got to pay attention. Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And here it is. By the sword shalt thou live. By the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So this is a spirit that's in the earth now. This is a spirit that's in the earth now. And it's in not just certain ethnic groups. It is in all ethnic groups on one level or another. Because Satan is the Elimo, the he's the El of this world. He is the El. He is the ruler of this world at this time. But what he does, he has to get permission for. Whatever Satan does, he has to get permission for. That's why it behooves us to obey the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and practice studying the law, that it will get in you, right? And I'm gonna tell you how exactly to study it, from Genesis to Deuteronomy, over and over again. And I'm telling you, every time you read it that way, you will get something new every single time. I'm telling you what I know, not what somebody told me. That's how you study the law of the Most High. It's not you not don't try to study it topically unless you have gained proper knowledge and understanding of it. And the one thing about it is, you will never get to a full brim. Because the spirit, and it's the word of the Most High. You can't get enough of it. Okay, all right. Where am I at? Okay. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. So pay attention to this. He sells his birthright. He despised his birthright. He despised his birthright. So when you despise something, when you reject something, when you don't treasure something, you won't understand a thing. When your mind is so adverse to a thing, you will never understand it, no matter what it is. That's why people don't understand us. That's why the ruling bodies don't understand that we don't understand us. That all that we have gone through from millennia upon millennia that has gone by, that all the things that the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob have gone through, we're still here. We're still here. We're despised of men. They have made a covenant with each other to destroy us. But we're still here. It's not because of anything that we do. It's because of the Most High. That we are the chosen of the Most High. We're not chosen because we wanted to be chosen or anything like that. This is something that people need to get a grip on. That we're not blessed because of anything that we're born with or anything like that. It's because the Most High has chosen us. And even of our people is Solele, is the children of Isolele. There's only going to be a remnant that's saved. Because a lot of us lack humility. We think we have a right to something without obeying. Your right to possess the kingdom only comes through your obedience to the Most High, His laws, statutes, commandments, and judgments. All right. Okay. Let's see, it's 36 to 41. Okay. Oh, okay. That's it. All right. Now, go into 2 Kings 5th chapter, starting at the 13th verse. Now, so hopefully you can see the spirit of Esau his spirit was a carnal spirit. It was after satisfying his flesh. Is satisfying his flesh. That's what it boils down to in simplistic form. That when you strive to satisfy your natural inclinations, you will always come up short. You will always come up short. And you have no right with the Most High. You have no inheritance. You have no inheritance. That's what the birthright is, inheritance. So the inheritance is both natural and spiritual. Natural possessions, cattle, oxen. We would say in today's vernacular, herd of cows and bulls, and sheep and goats. In scripture, when they say cattle, they're talking about sheep and goats mostly, but they'll usually make a distinction between oxen and cattle. Cattle is referring to sheep and goats, and oxen's a separate breed of clean animal. Okay. All right. So, if I don't know if many people are familiar with the scripture right here. The king had a servant named Naaman. Naaman came up with leprosy. Excuse me. And the leprosy he had was so great. Now, this is something that we all need to do, to go to the law in Leviticus and search out the law of leprosy and read that, and there's a lot to it. The law of leprosy. The law of leprosy, in short, when one has leprosy, there's usually, like, your skin is jacked up where it has sores, and it might run like pus and stuff like that in your flesh. But there's clean leprosy. There's clean leprosy where there's no sores, no running thing. You're just white. You're just white. Okay. Um, so you look in the case of in Numbers the 12th chapter where the Most High cursed Miriam with leprosy. She had to stay outside the camp for a certain amount of time. Okay, so this is dealing with leprosy. Your skin turns white, and it will tell you what exactly happened. And I don't think enough of us of Isolde talks about this character right here, uh, Gehazi, Gehazi, Gehazi. All right. Excuse me, I have a little sip of coffee. Decaf. Okay. So we're caught up with that. Okay. And his servants came near and spake unto him and said, just talking to Naaman, my father, if the prophet had bid thee do some great thing, wouldst thou not have done it? How much rather then when he saith to thee, wash and be clean? So Elisha sent word. Elisha sent word. Naaman came to Elisha, and Elisha sent the messenger to him and told him to go wash in the river, I think it's 7 times. And Naaman got mad because he was like expecting some great thing or for the prophet to come out. Well, he said, just go in the river and wash, dip yourself 7 times and you shall be clean. So this is the servant of Naaman telling him, like, get a grip, dude. You know what I mean? Get a grip. Right? All right. Then went he down and dipped himself 7 times in Jordan, according to the saying of the man of Yah. And his flesh came again like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. Pay attention. And he returned to the man of Yah, he and all his company, and came and stood before him. And he said, behold, now I know that there is no Yah in all the earth, but in Isolele. I don't like saying y'all. I didn't told y'all I don't like. I'm not saying Israel. So you know I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about when I'm saying. But in Isolele. Now therefore I pray thee, take a blessing of thy servant. And he said, as Yah liveth, as Yahweh liveth, before whom I stand, I will receive none. And he urged him to take it, but he refused. So this is the thing. Pay attention. When you do the work of the Most High, when you're operating in the work of the Most High, according to the law of the Most High, we are not to receive gifts, period. We are not to receive gifts. Why? He said because gift it messes up your understanding. It will blind your judgment. I can't remember the exact terminology used, but your judgment will be skewed. It will be blinded. It will be jaded. It will be all kinds. It will mess up your judgment. That's why he said, "Do not receive a gift." I've seen this. I've literally seen, And I told an individual about it, like, you ain't supposed to be receiving gifts. This and that and the other, making excuses, right? And I'm like, but it showed out in later times that this individual judgment was just like gone. It was gone. And anyway, okay. But he said, as Yahweh liveth, before whom I stand, I will receive none. And he urged him to take it, but he refused. And Naaman said, shall there not then, I pray thee, be given to the servant 2 mules, burden of earth? For the servant will henceforth offer neither burnt offering nor sacrifice unto other gods, but unto Yahweh. In this thing Yahweh pardon thy servant, that when my master goeth into the house of Rimmon to worship there, and he leaneth on my hand, and I bow myself in the house of Rimmon. When I bow down myself in the house of Rimmon, Yahweh pardon thy servant in this thing. So, I believe what he's saying is that because he offered the servant of Yah these gifts for his healing, that it insulted the Most High, and he was asking Elisha. I'm sorry, excuse me. He was asking Elisha to ask the Most High to pardon him of what he did. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. And he said unto him, go in peace. So he departed from him a little way. Now here you go. Pay attention. Remember what we learned in Genesis about Esau. Okay? But Gehazi, the servant of Elisha, the man of Yah, said, behold, my master hath spared Naaman this Syrian, in not receiving at his hand that which he brought. But as Yahweh liveth, I will run after him and take somewhat of him. So what is he saying? The servant of Elisha, Gehazi, is going to run after Naaman and take the gifts that Elisha told him, no, you go home with that stuff. No, I'm not doing that. Right? This is wisdom, right? So, okay, this you'll see. Okay. I should be laughing, but it's kind of funny. So, Gehazi followed after Naaman, and when Naaman saw him running after him, he lighted down from the chariot to meet him and said, is all well? And he said, all is well. My master has sent me. Number one, lying. And he said, all is well. My master hath sent me, saying, behold, even now there be come to me from Mount Ephraim 2 young men of the sons of the prophets. Give them, I pray thee, a talent of silver and 2 changes of garments. And Naaman said, Be content, take 2 talents, and be urged. And he urged him and bound 2 talents of silver in 2 bags with 2 changes of garments and laid them upon 2 of his servants, and they bare them before him. So the servants of Naaman took the like clothes, like it was material. It was precious material. Material we don't value material like they did, and it's something to be learned. But material, it was like they were pure, like either pure silk, pure cotton, pure linen, so on and so forth. It was pure. It wasn't all these mixed stuff, right? It was pure things. Okay, and they took a lot of pride in creating these materials, right, for clothing. A lot of work went into creating the materials for the garments. So anyway, the servants took the all this stuff, 2 bags of silver, 2 chains of garments, and laid them on him. Okay. And when he came to the tower, he took them from their hand and bestowed them in the house. And he let the men go, and they departed. Okay. But he went in and stood before his master, and Elisha said unto him, here you go, pay attention. Whence comest thou, Gehazi? Gehazi? And he said, thy servant went no whither. I didn't go nowhere. Lying again. And he said unto him, went not mine heart with thee? When the man turned again from his chariot to meet thee, is it a time to receive money and to receive garments and olive yards and vineyards and sheep and oxen and men servants and maid servants? Are y'all getting this? Here you go. The leprosy therefore of Naaman shall cleave unto thee and unto thy seed forever. And he went out from his presence a leper, as white as snow. Leprosy turns your skin white. There's different degrees of leprosy, but the greatest is when you turn totally white from head to toe. Your hair changes, the texture of your hair changes, everything. And it's not to be confused with what's it called? Oh shoot. It's albinoism. It's not to be confused with albinoism. This is not in the KJV, but anybody that has read the book of Enoch, you will know that Noah was albino. Noah was albino. So albino is a child. A child is born this way. A child is born white but has black features. So picture me, wide nose, set these eyes, everything, my lips, my hair, but I'm white. And my hair is kind of blondish, but I still have my same features. It's not the same thing as albinoism. Albinoism, not the same thing as leprosy. Leprosy, everything changes. And when it is handed down, this is a curse. Leprosy is a curse. Albinoism is not a curse. Leprosy is a curse. You got to understand that everybody in this book is black. Everybody in this book is black. When Moses went up to the mount to talk to the Most High for the first time, the Most High told him, put your hand in your garment. He put his hand in his garment and pulled it out. It was like white. He put it back. It came as his other flesh. Right? Many other occasions, right? So if you're already white, you can't determine if you're already white and you turn white, what's the distinction? There has to be a specific and clear visual distinction. Naaman was a black man, or not Naaman. Gehazi was a black man, and because of his deeds, he lied and stole. Characteristics. Pay attention. Characteristics. I really ain't got to spell this out for you. So you have Esau, a black man, did not understand the blessings of the birthright or the inheritance. He did not understand. And he sold it. He sold it. That's why in another place, several other places where it says, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Because the Most High knows our mind. From the before we are conceived in our mother's womb, the Most High knows us. He knows what our characters is going to be, either good or bad or indifferent. He knows. He knew Esau was going to despise his birthright. Jacob knew the value of the birthright, the inheritance. He knew. So you have fleshly characteristics. Fleshly, a carnal nature, not discerning spirituality. You have a greedy, lying, manipulating individual took something that did not belong to him, lied about it, lied again, saying, I ain't go nowhere. But the Most High, you talking to the prophet of the Most High Yah. Not only is understand who Elisha is and was. Understand who Elisha was. Elijah preceded Elisha. Elijah walked with the Most High in such a way that he did not taste death. The Most High translated him. He became a Maleki. He translated him. He became a Maleki. When he was on the earth doing the work of the Most High, Elisha said, give me a double portion of thy spirit. A double portion of thy spirit. Elisha said, if you can suffer with me, basically, I'm paraphrasing all this to get you to make you understand who Elisha was. If you can suffer through the things I suffer through, and you see me go when he knew he was going to be translated. See, we got to know how we walk before the Most High. We got to be cognizant of the things we do and how we living. We got to be cognizant of how we living. You can't be cognizant of how you live and not know the law of the Most High. That determines everything. So Elisha said, okay, I'm going to do this because I want a double portion of what you got. Right? Wherever Elijah went, Elisha was there too. Right? So basically what was happening, Elisha was being trained as a prophet. And brother Jonathan, one of the brothers in the Bantu spirituality, the Bantu awakening, he talks about this all the time, how he was trained in the prophetic. So Elisha was basically going through the same thing, the rite of passage. Right? He was going through trials to become a prophet. So when the chariot of the Most High came to get Elijah, he was there. He saw it. And the mantle which Elijah had, he put it on Elisha. And when he took it up, he got the double portion. So Elisha was twice the man as Elijah was. He saw exactly what Gehazi did. He saw exactly what he did. Now, if he had not lied, the Most High could have had mercy upon him. If he didn't lie, the Most High could have had mercy upon him. But he lied to the servant of the Most High Yah. When you lie to the servant, when a man or woman is a true servant of the Most High Yah, and they hem you up and they telling you something, they're asking you something, and you lie to them, you are lying to Yah. Who was that in the book of Acts? Priscilla and Aquila lied to the servant of Yah. What happened? They dropped dead. So this character lied, stole, and him and his descendants. The leprosy, verse 27, therefore of Naaman shall cleave unto thee and unto thy seed forever. So when you see white people with these characteristics, lying, stealing, only care about your natural inclinations, don't care about what is right and what is wrong, have no discernment of right and wrong, calling evil good and good evil. You understand the spirit. This is the spirit of Hasatani, the spirit of Satan. So now you're aware. So when you have these prophet-lyings, these lying people on TV and some that are not on TV, listen to me. These greedy, no spirit having, greedy, lying, deceiving, televangelists, pastors, that's taking people's money and living lavishly and call it the blessing of the Most High. What? And people in the community, you go just look in the communities. Go into the community and you see the evidence of their work. They're lying and stealing. They care. You see what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. The spirit of Esau and the spirit of Gehazi is the spirit of Satan. They use the word of Yah for their personal gain. When you read, how are you going to sit there and deny and refuse and reject the law of Yah and still use the law of Yah to manipulate and take tithes and offering, which tithes and offering was never about money, was never about gold, was never about silver or anything like that. It was all about food. It was all about food, meat, grain, fruits and vegetables. From Genesis to Revelations. Anytime it's talking about tithes. The only one place that it made mention about goods was when Abraham paid tithes to Melchizedek. And he gave a tenth of all he had. That's the only time. But when you get down into what the law of tithes and offering is, you'll see. This is the spirit of Satan. I don't care what organization you belong to. I don't care what pastor, what leader. Don't no leader of any group, spiritual group, religious group, have a right to receive money from their parishioners, from their people that they're teaching, supposed to be teaching the word of the Most High to. They have no right. It's again, especially if they're supposed to be teaching the law of the Most High. They have no right. Well, what about the work? Get a job. When the temple was destroyed and the Most High saw fit for the people to build back the temple, they brought goods when in the wilderness. In the wilderness, when the Most High gave instructions to Moses to build the tabernacle in the wilderness, people brought things automatically. They was willing to give. It had nothing to do with tithes and offering. They brought things willingly. In one case, they brought so much that the servant of the Most High had to tell them, stop bringing stuff. We got too much. We got enough. But these greedy folks, they would have been on the other side of that coin. There would have been other. Oh yeah. Gimme. That's not Yah at all. The spirit of Satan, Esau and Gehazi, the spirit of Satan. I got a job. My father was a pastor. He had a job. He received tithes and offering, and every penny of his tithes and offering went into the treasury of the church. Every penny. Every penny went into the treasury of the church. So did he receive tithes and offering? No. I pray that this lesson brought light and understanding to you. Don't be deceived by these spirits. Spirit of Esau and Gehazi is the spirit of Satan. That's the ruling entity in the earth. May Yah bless thee and keep thee. May Yah's face shine upon thee and be gracious upon thee. May Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. To Yah be the glory. Shabbat shalom. To him be all the glory, honor, and the praise. All the kimbul belongs to him. Shabbat shalom.